Gotcha.
Let me tell you something about the book on aliens,
Okay.
which, I, of course, in a tongue-in-cheek manner, I titled it 50 Shades of Grey Aliens.
Correct.
I'll tell you about one of the stories in there because, okay, I'm sure you recognize the name Whitley Strieber.
I do. I've heard that guy was associated or affiliated with the Process Church or something like that, or one of these occult groups.
Well, the thing about Strieber is I disagree with him 100%, but he is a fascinating character in that, for example, is he not the poster boy of the alien contact phenomena?
Yeah, communion, right? Wasn't that the big one?
Yes, but he has never ever claimed that he's in contact with aliens.
Interesting.
That's how interesting. Well, that's how interesting it is that he is the poster child for that, and he never claims. He refers to them as visitors.
Interesting.
Okay, so let me give you a quick rundown on him, because that story is not only relevant to the alien UFO issue, but to the occult issue.
Okay, fire.
All right. So Strieber claims that these visitors first got in contact with him when he was doing what? Well, when he was in his meditation room.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. So he was involved in certain mystical practices, and he had a room in his house devoted to meditation, and there he is meditating, and there come these visitors. So that tells you something right there. Now, I think in the book I referred to him as a sort of Bertrand Russell character, and because it's known philosophically that Bertrand Russell changed his mind throughout his life a lot as he tried to figure things out. Well, Whitley Strieber is the same, and one of the first things that he thought about these visitors is that they were demons.
Interesting.
Okay, and so now what happens is then when people start talking about Whitley Strieber being demonized, then you have people like the Professor Jeffrey Kripal basically talking about these paranoid, dumb Christians who are saying that about Strieber. But hey, they got it from Strieber to start with.
Himself, right from the horse's mouth. Right?
Yeah. So now, as I would listen to Strieber, because he does a regular talk show, every now and then he would mention military ties with his family, and specifically that he knew people in the CIA. Very generic statements, but in the back of my head, I kind of opened up a little file that read, Whitley Strieber, MK Ultra victim.
Interesting.
The MK Ultra victim is what I thought, but that was very generic, so I just kind of stored it in the back of my head. And then one day he did a talk where he straight up states that he does believe he was a victim of the specific MK Ultra mind control experiment.
Interesting.
And for instance, when he was a kid, he also underwent, have you heard of a Skinner box?
It sounds familiar. Did they put you in a box or something?
Exactly. It's literally, it's just a form of sensory deprivation where you literally stick a child inside of a box. I mean,
because that's what Skinner did to his own kid, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Skinner box. That's what he apparently that was high psychiatry back in the day.
Yeah. And they have a nice like euphemism for it. The operant conditioning chamber.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds so wonderful. Let's try it, William.
Let's try some operant conditioning. I'm going to do that right after we get done with this.
Yeah. So anyhow, Strieber then just came right out and is very open that he does believe that he underwent MK Ultra mind control experimentation.
Wasn't he in the UK at one point? Forgot. I could have swore that he was in.
I know he mostly lived in New York, but I'm sure he got around.
Okay.
So then I remember watching a documentary about how there was supposedly footage of an actual alien that was kept in a secret military base, and you could see the alien right there on the footage. And to me, it was an obvious puppet. Okay, I mean, to me, it was obviously just a puppet. Now, they say, well, we contacted Whitley Strieber to get his opinion on it, but he was so freaked out he didn't want to appear on camera. But here's what he says. If that's not an actual video of an alien or a visitor, then whoever made the puppet knows how they move.
Whitley Strieber, best-selling author of Communion, claims to have had numerous personal contacts with alien beings. He has become the de facto spokesman for the growing number of people who claim to have been abducted by extraterrestrials. The nationally syndicated television program Strange Universe asked Strieber and several other abductees to view the alien interview tape. What Strieber saw left him profoundly shaken. Strieber would not agree to be interviewed on camera for this program, but on Strange Universe, he had this to say.
How they move. How they move. Okay, so that tells me this. Okay, it's an obvious puppet. So what does that tell me? When Strieber was being made to undergo MK Ultra experimentation, they trotted out this puppet and they made him believe that it's a real life being.
Fascinating. All right, so he
That's
really
how
was.
that's how it struck me. And now here's Strieber's ultimate conclusion is that yes, he underwent this mind control experimentation, but that he still does believe that the visitors were a real phenomena. And why is that? He says, well, because whenever I had experiences with the visitors, people who ran into me that day noted that I was agitated. Okay, you know, all right, that to me is a stretch like that traverses the length of the universe, because why not say, hey, I know I underwent MK Ultra experimentation, and the reason people noted I was agitated on that day is because all these CIA nuts were experimenting on me, not because some other dimensional beings were visiting me. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Yeah,
It's like an Occam's razor approach. You know, what's more likely, that you were agitated because you were being experimented upon with your military background and CIA contacts, or because some other dimensional entities were visiting you? So that to me, Strieber is a very fascinating character to me.
Yeah, I think I've heard somebody else the guy's name is Jason Horsley, who is researched Strieber and said that he had something strange. The blog is Autoculture, if you want to look that up. But he said there's something sketchy about Strieber and his associations in 1960s, the London kind of zeitgeist.
Interesting.